It's Clementine's turn to try out for Loop. Let's listen in, shall we?
Wow, 20 pages to answer 3 questions.
Well, when I write about myself, I like to start at the beginning. And the beginning was 9 years ago, and a lot can happen in 9 years.
Okay. Well, now we have a test for you.
I love tests.
Something simple, nothing to stress out about.
So I shouldn't think, gosh, I better not make a mistake, or else I won't get to play Loop, right?
Right, yes. No, you shouldn't think that.
Really think about this. She shouldn't think that way. I know we should try to motivate kids, but this is a little far from it. What Clementine talked about is what my parents instilled in me. You don't get rewarded for getting wrong answers. What if you were working for an investment firm and you forgot to carry the decimal point costing your firm you work for $10,000? You were supposed to go home early that day, but is your boss going to say, "Oh, everyone makes mistakes, you can go home"? Or, "That's coming out of your paycheck, and no, you cannot go home early"? Or is he going to say, "You're fired"? Which one do you think he's going to say?
Do you get any magazines, Clementine?
I do. I get Cowgirl and Acrobat Girl and Just Plain Girl, and my mom gets Om and Yum, and my dad gets Tree Hugger.
Is that a real magazine? Hey, it kind of is. Who knew?
And my baby brother gets one made of 7 nutritious nutrients, so he can eat it.
I see. Well, let's take a moment to think about that. 7 magazines a month times 12 months equals 84 magazines, times 115 million families, times the amount of people in the United States.
Okay, this is where the math went wrong. Okay, if there are 84 magazines per year, per household, times that by 115 million families, that's a total of 920 million magazines. But EPA, one of the sites they gave as a source, said that on average only 350 million magazines are produced. So what is it? 920 million or 350 million?
Okay, so every year, people in this country throw away 2.5 million tons of magazines.
That is kind of a guilt trip to put on the kids. Each magazine weighs less than other magazines. For example, these are the 2 magazines my brother gets. Let's weigh them. Around 22.8 ounces. And that's 1 month. Now let's do my 1 magazine, which is Popular Science. 5.2, with that another. 9.7. 14.9, another. 19.7. It took 4 months worth of Popular Science to equal up to my brother's 1 month of his 2. Even one alone is 12.3. See, it's a guilt trip. And not all magazines are thrown out. Here's one from 1943, 44, 44, 44, 46, and 46. All these magazines, I collected them, and there's a lot more of these old ones out there. So not all magazines are thrown out.
That many magazines would fill 7 giant football stadiums each year. Now, some of these magazines get recycled.
This is somewhat true. According to an EPA report back in 2007, over 54% of papers were recycled, and almost 40% of that was newspapers.
But most end up in landfills where they rot and produce methane gas, which is just another way of saying scary, So, your task is to find something to do with magazines besides throw them out. So in that closet you will find magazines, and on the table, glue and scissors. 20 minutes, okay? Just to see if you can come up with an interesting way to reuse a magazine. Bye!
Boobloo is returning to see what Clementine has been able to do. What are you expecting to see, Boobloo?
Well, typically in these tests we see a simple piece of origami or maybe a paper chain.
Darn, I didn't finish.
You did... What?
And there you have it. Clementine has passed her test with flying colors.
See what you can make from stuff you normally throw away.